Brother, you awake, man? Good to see you, bro. Just in time. Feel free to
I could
unmute.
feel everybody, so it kind of woke me up. I
Dude,
was
what
like,
time
yeah,
is it
2 in the
there?
morning, who knows?
Bro,
3, maybe I'll just jump on. I'm already awake.
dude, that's so dope. Yeah, tell us, man. What's on your mind? We were just recapping the end of the month, bro. Doing some integration together.
Yeah, I'm just getting download after download. Like the new tools that I'm getting from biogeometry are just like, they're fucking dope. They're fucking a game changer, and like they're like everything that I'm going to be able to do at CERN and whatever is going to be, yeah, it's going to be cool and powerful and able to like affect positive change for it for sure. Yeah, no, it's super dope. I can't wait to like hopefully not get caught or like because this one's going to be like ninja slip in and fucking do it. It's not CERN's like I can't actually go into CERN because like it's like closed during the times I have my schooling and whatever, but I'll be able to direct energy in a blanket over the whole facility almost. So it's, yeah, it's going to be dope for sure.
Dude, that's so cool, bro. That's so cool, man. So you're saying you can't enter the facility, but you're going to be doing some focused channeling, or are you going to be near it? Like, are you guys doing some stuff together as a group with CERN as well, energetically?
No, we aren't. That like the group is more focused on getting the information and learning about it. Like I know like I'm kind of going in ninja style, like as an individual, like and but like so like it's gonna be a little bit different of a like where I've kind of like been pre-gridding it, and I found a power spot that's just outside of CERN, just like Centaur Mountain on at Tatiana's is like a power spot. So, and I've also like I'm gonna connect it to a church that is on the same grid line. The St. Peter's Church is on the same grid line. So I'm gonna be connecting those as like a wide berth of uh, like energy key that's going to flow directly at the facility. If I had another person like and we were able to go into CERN, I will be would be able to fine tune the energy to flow in the direction of it, but I'll get it pretty close, and that's what I'm here to do. So that's, as my guides are telling me, and it's like it's more for them, my guides and our guides, to be able to do this. So then like my biogeometry group, I'm going to have to ease them into this because this is a little bit of rogue, um, like outside of the box thinking than what they are. They're focused on just directly inside facilities and harmonizing the space within it. I'm going to start focusing on using power spots to harmonize grid lines themselves, like bringing pulsation power to the grid lines themselves. Like that's the download I was getting as soon as I woke up at 2 when I think when the meeting started or whatever. So yeah, that's a little bit of like what I've got going so
Yeah,
far.
I feel like somebody's got some light language that wants to come through for that too. Yeah, I can feel just listening to you, bro, is lighting my body up. Lighting my body up, bro. Listening to you. It's so amazing.
Yeah, I'm just like, as soon as I started getting the downloads for this, and like, I was just like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna go back to sleep. And like, it's been like, I have the grid that like, I have a printout of the city, and I've been finding the grid lines, and I have the star Sirius and the Lyran and are like a few other stars that the Lyran star system. I have each individual star of the Lyran system printed out under the thing. The first night I was like, why am I not getting any sleep? It was because I was putting all that power into like my room and the the Geneva grid itself, basically, because I have the printout, which is it's a representation, and like in biogeometry, we use printouts to find things, and because they do have like a shape resonance with the actual places, so we're able to use those shape resonant pictures to find power spots, disturbances, and things like that to like help us figure out what we need to do. And like, yeah, it's pretty fun. I can't like this one's a very powerful one, you know. Uh, I'm glad you guys are all a part of it for sure.
That is so cool. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's super amazing.
it is pretty exciting. It just like it lights up my spine, you know, every time I'm kind of like really getting into it.
I feel like I'm there with you. So thank you for sharing.
Heck yeah, I was like sitting here just thinking in the dark. I'm just like, why don't I just get up and join? glad glad there's a place for this, like, because
Yeah,
otherwise I'd
bro.
just be sitting
Absolutely.
here excited in the dark.
Totally. That's so cool. At some point, maybe on another call, I'd love to circle back on the ley lines because I've been getting a lot of downloads that I'd love to share about some upcoming work that I'm doing in Europe. Probably
Yeah,
get your help
absolutely.
on
I'm
that.
going to Europe too. Why are you going to go to Europe?
So originally I was going to go because I'm doing the Mary Magdalene pilgrimage. I'm going to the south of France, the Camargue region, and traveling through the Gorge de Verdon, which is the Green Provence, and then going into Italy. And then I'm going to several places in Italy and then to Croatia on a boat trip. I'll be gone for a month. But I realized when Kelly Kolodny was starting her Resurrection Light Code, she started talking about the Michael ley line that starts in Michael Skellig in Ireland and crosses through Wales. There are seven churches, cathedrals, like on most of them on the top of very craggy rocks, very high up, where there were different monks throughout the early centuries, like 700 BC or 700 AD and such, that were received these messages from Archangel Michael that they were supposed to be creating these uh, churches, monasteries at the top of these sacred places. They're all in a line, and they go basically from the tip of Ireland through London, through England, two places in France, two places in Italy, Greece, and then end in Mount Carmel, Israel. That's the Michael ley line. And I realized that the trip that I did to Ireland 2 years ago, I was at Michael Skellig and I went through Stonehenge and Avebury. And I'm now that I'm going to France, I'm going right through, I'm kind of continuing this grid, which I realize now is grid work on the Michael ley line. And I keep dreaming about France and the very feminine Magdalene energy that's rising there. And I was shown that I need to take 8 stones. That's this very limestone rock that's from it's called the Grand Canyon of France, the Gorge de Verdon. It's this beautiful limestone cliffs that go deep into the earth, and it's this turquoise, gorgeous, sacred feminine blue waters that run through. And I need to take those stones and go to the Sacra di San Michele in Turin, Italy, which is a little out of the way, but it's the fourth church along the Michael ley line. It's right in the center, so it's kind of the heart chakra, and put the rocks there to kind of bring the sacred feminine energy to this very yang, kind of very distorted ley line. There's a lot of distortion from Israel and all the different energies that have been distorted on the ley line. And I was shown that the land itself in France is talking to me. It's very yin. It was in the Mesozoic era underwater, which is what created all of the limestone in France. And it's flanked by Spain on one side and Italy on the other, which has a lot more iron and has a lot more reddish soil and a lot more masculine energy. And France is holding this very sacred feminine. And I was shown that the Sacra di San Michele, which is this giant craggy rock that, I don't know how many hundreds of feet off the ground it rises, and then the monastery's on the top. I was shown it folding in half with the Grand Canyon of France, like the sacred masculine and feminine kind of coming together. So I'm going to be doing that with my mom, bringing these limestone rocks and gridding the top of the Sacra de San Michele. So that should be interesting. And that'll be May 10th. We'll start our trip. We'll be in that area between May 20th and May 25th or so.
Right before 6/6. That's awesome. Like that's right when that needs to happen. Is that 6/6 portal needs the feminine brought back into it, and like yeah, right. And like I'm getting like, so like the work I'm doing with the biogeometry, I can have you place those rocks in specific power spots that are not actually in the building itself, but in around, like surrounding the building, or even not even at the building, but like could be. I'm seeing that you're going to activate like the power spots that are on grid lines that are going to flow through the building, and then they'll go like make a cross through the building at least somehow. And that's going to be very important, because like what that'll do is it'll make an energy key, what we call an energy key in biogeometry, where it's going to give flow and energy and increase the width of the grid line itself, basically, because the grid line, like I'm seeing right now, the grid line itself is compacted into a linear line, and we need to add the feminine to it, which brings in more space for things to be gravitated into the energy of the masculine moving through it. And what it'll do also is repel the energy, the negative energies that are focused on it from all sides, basically. So that's the nature of the feminine, is repelling what we don't want and gravitating what we do want into it. And when the masculine is flowing through in divine form, which we've already done that last year with JJ coming through, and our group kind of getting started on that with Nexus and flowing through, the divine masculine was activated through in there. And so the divine masculine works through emotion. So it reaches out to find information, and it pulls back information through energy. And the feminine needs that to have information for it to understand what it needs to gravitate towards itself and to repel from itself. So that's the four defined actions of like what I define as the mother and the father. Basically, there's no other way to define it, because they're just actions, but I'm using those words to define it as relatable, I guess. That's the way I picture that.
Can we
Super cool.
Yeah, I just getting some pings here. I just want to name and put out to the group. Can we let's go ahead and just drop into this heart resonance field, start building that out together. That's what I'm getting. So dropping out of the mental body, dropping out of the upper chakras, and connecting into that heart resonance field together as a group. Oh, I was just feeling into also, like, we can connect to Vincent's location as well too, but just want to open space a little bit, calling in guides, helpers, allies, your councils, whoever it is that you work with. getting into the physical body, dropping into your breath. Big deep breath in, sipping on top, hold, opening up your chest, your heart, your lungs, releasing side buzzer hum. Normal breath at the bottom, recovery breath, maybe one more big deep breath in, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Sigh, buzz, hum, exhale, letting something go, making a sound. You can do some tapping to get into your body. Collarbones, wrists, heart. Opening your central channel, your central pillar. Connecting into your breath, your heart center. Welcoming in your highest self, higher self, highest purest essence, inner children. If you're aligned and open to sharing group telepathy, calling that forward as well too. If you want to speak, sing, hum, buzz, share light language, share your codes, feel free to do that. I just wanted to kind of open space a little bit, get a little bit more conscious, a little bit more intentional. Not that we aren't conscious or intentional at all. We always are, but vessel was coming through. Feel free to continue to share. I was tapping in, just trying to feel into the energy, the energetics around where Vincent's at too. Kind of using that as like a grid point, an anchor point on the grids. The galactic dolphins, the galactic whales. Kina ara akuti hihiana taka akuti. Sianataka asianataka ati sianatara ki shishonko uka hanji yanataka asoko usianataka. Yeah, they're asking for the divine feminine. If you feel like sharing as well too, feel free to unmute. I'm complete for now.
Burkindanaktoya. Biriandanaktoi. Shirindanaktukuya. Arkiandanai kukuyanak. Kindanaktukui nanakui. Birkiandanaktoi ai kuyanaktai. I'm feeling a lot of wind elements and cloud busting and piercing the veil, and seeing a lot of like the Tartarian copper domes and the wind coming to restore the harmonics that used to flow throughout the cities to clear the air. Burkur kiandanaktoya burchkuy. Ishnir kyundanaktoya. I'm complete.
Getting a lot of like direct from Gaia is like when we are able to interact with the grid lines themselves and charge them, and it gives her emotional body back. Like we've hijacked it through certain things, like even putting the pyramids up on her body, where like kind of a little bit of hijacking of her emotional body response system. So like, I mean, she's okay with that, and she allowed that because she did choose all the pieces for it. But like, the intent of like us putting our buildings right now is out of alignment with her emotional body, but like us putting our energies into the grid lines and the true flow and allowing it, like, so what I'm seeing is that like the grids when they're flowing from day to night and vice versa, like it's very reciprocal, so it's like going back and forth between it, and one is creating like the future response, and one is like digesting the past response, like the going into night, and then the waking up in the morning is like the like going into the future. She's continually waking up into the future, which is pulling in the information that she needs when the light is shined on it. But then when the night comes, the digestion of the information happens. That's why we, as humans, need to sleep. We're digesting the information of our day in our bodies for Gaia. Like this, that it's not for us. The sleep isn't for us. And the Sasquatch of like from like France and Switzerland here, the Yeti, I guess, because they're centered around the glaciers and the mountains themselves. We're just coming in, and they're like they're starting to release codes through the melting of the glaciers that like they're a lot of their homes are under the glaciers, like um, as Sasquatch beings were like around here is where a lot of them had homes like that were prehistoric that we could find in the mountains as part of who they were. They moved into the mountains after we started settling after the glaciers. Like, but they'd already had spaces in and underneath the glaciers, like uh, that they could retreat to. It was like an underground cities of sort, like the ones that they have in Turkey. Um, those are like similar to what they have underneath the glaciers, I guess. Yeah, they just wanted to bring in activation and understanding of like how they are stewards, and like when we tap into the nature and the trees and the birds and everything, they are right on the periphery of that. So like invite them in when you're there with that, like because they are all tied together completely all the way around the earth, like through their collective consciousness is like the mycelium network of trees, but it's in the atmosphere itself. It's like it hovers. The So what I'm seeing is like anytime you get on top of a mountain and are close to tree line, that is the area where there's could be a total direct connection to the Sasquatch, and they like to work within that area because like they're on that area, but there's also the inner earth beings that are have a different, and that's below the earth surface. When we go into caves, we can tap into the inner earth beings, like clearer, more pure, I guess. Like that's the only reason they're bringing up that information. I am complete. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for those shares. Powerful codes, frequencies, vibrations.
Vincent, I could feel during your light language almost like being inside the digestive system of Gaia. When you were talking about digesting in the evening, I could feel the bile like breaking down and digesting that material. And I could feel it in my own body at the same time. I was listening to a call with David Clements and Pam Gregory the other day, and he used an analogy that I feel is appropriate right now, in that both the earth that has been holding on to a lot of sludge, emotional negativity, and energetic negativity, just as we have been, are similar to a glass that has mud at the bottom, and there's like this crystalline water that's being poured into it, all these codes and crystalline energies that are coming in. But for a time, everything that's pouring out of the glass looks like muddy water. And that's because everything is coming up right now and surfacing, both in ourselves and the shadow and the energy of Gaia that's surfacing. And for a while, it's going to look muddy, but it's only because there's so much light coming in to clear it out, which I thought was really beautiful. And eventually, it's all just going to be this beautiful crystalline water, plasma, light. So thank you all for that.
Yeah, I love that share. That's so cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, this call is our integration call for the end of the month, and I love that we get to kind of tap back in and feel back into all the many different things that happen. And I would encourage you too that just because we're getting ready to wrap here, to take some like conscious time and really integrate. If you're into journaling, I'm not into journaling personally, but I know some people are really into journaling and prompting and things like that. I'm much more in the alignment of weaving and like doing a lot like channeling and things like that, although I do have a couple journals out right now. But yeah, just a lot of gratitude for all of the many friends and family that are here with us today who've joined us throughout this month. Really looking forward to hopping on the call tomorrow with Vincent. I think it's going to be late his time, probably like 10 or 11 o'clock set. but we'll be here in the stream of consciousness to do some CERN specific. I think some people are going to be joining us who don't normally come to the call, so we may get to meet some new friends. But if you're interested in a line, feel free to start just connecting in now and setting some intentions. I really love to be conscious, so I'm going to hop in and do some channeling and some kind of like pre-gridding energetically just for myself, you know, on all of the many different things that we've talked about today. So would love to hear if you guys have any last comments, thoughts, shares, light language, toning, humming, singing, buzzing. Anything
I have a
that's
question. When I was looking at your slides, just a question on what is the perfect thirds? Can you explain that real quick, a little more? Is it a music thing? Because
I
I
can
want
see
to know.
that. It's so Lenny says perfect thirds, so it's like triad. So for inner union example, it's masculine, feminine, and inner child. So that's a different way of saying it. We'll say perfect thirds, and I put on there, I think, perfect thirds shifting into the frequency of like trine. So there's a little bit different frequency when you think about or channel into, and then I put on the sub bullet like we'll say like perfect thirds braid. So braid specifically, you know, if you think about how a braid is, it's a little bit different. If you want to talk about like frequency or the Stina's got a visitor at the house. Yeah, so that's what that is. That was a good question though. I like that you brought that forward.
Because I think of, music thirds. So, but thank you. I can see now what you were meaning.
Tell us about the music thirds then, if you don't mind. How does that apply?
A chord is thirds apart, and even like a CEG, and so a C to E is a third, E to a G is a third, and every single music note of the 12 music notes, each one has a chord from it. So a third, and then you can have minor thirds, major thirds, if you get real technical. But the foundation, like where I've started to get real interested in this, is how it connects. Like I've been learning sound bowls, and each one has a tone. Even just your basic set each one can connect to the 7 chakras. Usually is the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, from root up to crown, of course. And so I've been playing around with it because I have a friend who's not a musician showing me her bowls, and I'm like, okay, like the CEG bowl would sound good, and then the FAC, and then the GBD. Like I've been giving her all the chord combinations, and she's like fascinated because those are all the thirds, each one. So it just, it's a big thing with just learning it, whether or not you're a musician. It's really cool how it applies into sound healing, is what I've really kind of been fascinated with lately, of how instruments connect to, whether or not you have music knowledge, it's healing.
Yeah, that's a lot what we talk about in biogeometry, is like how things are separated through like resonance. And like that's how we get things to be like cohesive and raise the good energy that we want in a field around us. And like that's when I use singing bowls, and like I try to get them to resonate into the field to create the energy I want, and that's what we're going to do. Like what we do, like when in biogeometry, we can use like shapes to create resonance with things, and that's what we do. We have a thing called biosignatures, and the shape of them, like we have one that's for the heart, and it's in slightly the shape of the heart, but what it does is it gives like the blueprint. And I think that's what like resonance is all about, is like giving it a better blueprint to like vibrate on. And when you can do that, like it creates the better energy for everything around it. And so like even like using numbers to separate something into equal parts, like one of the things with biogeometry, if you can make something that's like 1 inch and do it 16 times, that gives off the beneficial life force energy. So, there's so many aspects to that, like that if you do that within your life, like just, like it sounds kind of OCD to do a little bit of things like that, but like it'll create
Cool.
beneficial life force energy around you.
Yeah. Why
And
not?
like
Come on.
yeah, I know, like every little thing that you can do to create that, because there's so much that are around us. Like people have so many negative thoughts. Like that's just creating non-resonant, like vibratory fields. Which, like in the reality, when you do that, it's like our noise cancellation headphones. It starts to like cancel out any frequency. But when we can get everything to be in resonance by just having shape or the sounds of the sound bowl, like that, after you're done with the sound bowls, like I've found that like the room's energy is elevated for at
Sure.
least an hour to 2 hours, or if not for the whole rest of the day, like with that
Yeah.
beneficial life force energy. And like I just wanted to mention another thing is like there's a solar flare happened yesterday in X1. So like today it's coming in fast. So it's coming. I think I'm gonna be able to tie this power spot into this solar flare as like using that beneficial energy from the sun to like amplify the work that I'm going to be doing. So if each one of us has a little bit of time and you can see the sun today, or I think so. Yeah, so tomorrow for you guys, it'll be today for me since I'm already in the future. So yeah, just if you can, that'll help bring resonance within our cohesive field, and I'll be able to amplify that through myself into this grid that I'm going to set up tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, man. And I appreciate that. Thank you guys for being here for this, like, such exciting times.
Yeah, man. Glad to see
I
you,
have
bro.
been I have been
Oh,
keep
cool.
thinking about the CERN since our last two calls, and now I'm just going to be more consciously connecting with the field in there, and maybe tonight when I'm sleeping, I'm going to do some mirror with
Yeah.
Vincent.
Yeah.
See if we can connect.
Like, yeah, think about the star Sirius and like a CERN, because that's what I have the most energy going through. Like, so connect to Sirius and CERN if you're going to do that, because they're the ones that are like, they're the ones who are guided me to like do any of this, like what I'm doing. And so, like, yeah, if you want to like have a full on connection, just like at least just bringing Sirius into your consciousness before you go to sleep, and CERN possibly. Just know, like, anything you're like the grid that I have set up right now is protecting you if you come here. So that's
Thanks.
all I have to say on that. And I thank you. And I'm gonna say goodbye, I guess, like before, like let everybody else say goodbye too.
So awesome.
Yeah, bro, that was great, man. Absolutely. I was gonna say too, if you wanted to, we're gonna be going to sleep here before too long, in like 2 or 3 hours. But feel free to drop anything that is pinging you into the Grid Working Telegram, and we can all kind of ping off of that, or you can always just direct text as well too, and we can hop in energetically with you. I'm gonna be probably hopping in and channeling for like the next few hours myself, just to kind of I'm already kind of in a flow state personally. But yeah, thank you, and thank every single person on here for your time, energy, attention, your frequency, your vibration, your love, your heart resonance, all of the many, many things that you do, including also those of us who are watching the playback and our friends and family who are allowing us to be able to, just operate and move with that loving, anchoring energy as well. So any last shares? We call it here. We got a few minutes left, and that may be it for tonight until tomorrow for the CERN call.